Hello, good morning, good evening, and welcome to Bigg World Cinema. Without further ado, we'll continue with what you're here for. And to ensure this channel survives, please don't skip the ads. Thank you. So you've been chatting with a girl. After a few days into the conversation, the girl says, "I love you." Don't worry, that's natural here. In the same way, she'll go silent for a couple of days when you haven't a clue what you've done wrong. And she won't tell you because she's pretending you don't exist. You're of advancing years, but have managed to attract a younger lady. There's an age gap, naturally, of between 10 and 40 years, maybe more. She's told you that age is just a number. Ah, that old chestnut. Just like the figure in your bank balance. Filipinas are not original thinkers. They all come out with the same expressions. "I'm a gold digger, not a gold digger, ha ha ha." The one that always cracks me up is, "Love me for who I am." Yes, obviously. Plus, "I'm just a simple girl." In the UK, calling someone simple is like calling someone Rain Man or Forrest Gump. Anyway, you've moved past the introduction period and you're now officially an item. Dating, or whatever the term is nowadays. She stays at your place at the weekends, which is a change from the boarding house she lives at, which only has a ceiling fan, making it difficult to sleep at night, a pail and bucket in the backyard, and irregular Wi-Fi, which makes it difficult to contact you. It will be far more convenient to live with you full-time, so she can direct you around the supermarket aisles and advise you on the best brand of rice to buy. So I've seen many postings recently and had numerous conversations with expats on this subject. Should you give your girlfriend an allowance? A what? Excuse me? Look, if you're in a relationship with a Filipina and you have kids with her, then fair enough, you should pay. That's only natural. Why shouldn't you? Or why wouldn't you? She's the mother to your children. You're providing for them. Great. Just like you would back home. Housekeeping, it's called. I've posted a few videos about dating Filipinas. On a couple of short videos, I put the tagline, "Why do Filipinas date older men?" Gosh, I got so much abuse. Listen, I'm not saying what is right or wrong. Nothing is ever black or white. I'm just intrigued, asking the question. I have a master's degree in cultural studies. I'm interested in the human psyche. Most of my questions are trying to understand how and why people consider certain things. Like an insight into Filipino culture. Asking questions as journalists do. It's a fair exchange, people comment. She gets security, he gets a young bride. So what if I'm 108 and she's 19? We're happy. She's with me for my personality, not my bank balance. It's none of your business, butt out. So much vitriol. Guys seem to take my line of questioning very personally, funnily enough. About 80% of the comments say, "Obvious, this is nothing new. It's all about the money, money, money." Are these comments by onlookers or do they have personal insight? I don't know. Not many Filipinas would actually admit wanting you purely for the size of your wallet. But let me ask you this. Will your Filipina still be with you when the money runs out? Or better still, ask her, "Ere Sweetart, you know those vows that go for richer, for poorer?" This will be interesting. I'll play a little light music and show you some visuals whilst you pop the question. Let me know how this pans out. So you're probably thinking, "Oh, he's just a bitter man. He's been burned and scorned." But far from it. I met my Filipina girlfriend on Dating Asia. This was in times of COVID, when online dating was the only real option of meeting someone. I chatted with many Filipinas. Not that I ever reached much depth or had many meaningful conversations beyond, "You had your dinner yet?" It took a lot of patience without achieving many interesting insights. LJ was 22. Actually, she was 21, but she told me she was 22. I was 59, but my age listed on Dating Asia was 45, funnily enough. Don't ask me why. I wasn't looking for a much younger girlfriend. My age range online was 18 to 35. In Thailand, I've dated a few women in their late 30s who look great. I'm going to get stick for this, but Thai women age better than Filipinas. Sorry about that. Anyway, LJ and I had good rapport. I revealed my real age, to which LJ replied that I was too old for her. Fair enough, but we got on great and continued chatting. Long story short, 6 months later, LJ moved to Cebu to start a job, which didn't work out. Then moved in with me. She was 22 now. I paid the condo rent, I paid for the groceries. Naturally, that's fine. After we'd been together 2 months, she got a job nearby in IT Park. Then we moved together to a new condo in Mabolo. Once a week she'd go to Carbon Market after work and struggle back to Mabolo with bags laden with vegetables and rice. I know how to treat a lady. But she never asked for anything. She was a good girl. She didn't want to be wined and dined, and if I bought us a meal out one day, she'd insist on repaying the favour or going somewhere for dessert. What a cheapskate, I hear you cry. You shouldn't be letting your girlfriend pay. You should pay for everything. Ha! I recently read an online profile by a Filipina on Pina Love. It's 2023. We don't do halvesies over here. Stop being stingy, men. I wanted to message her. This is not 1984. You want equal rights? Then pay your own way, tight ass. But that would have been a waste of the one free message you're entitled to on Pina Love every 10 minutes, so I didn't bother. Whilst I was travelling recently in Boracay, I was chatting with a Filipina. Had 3 kids by a Filipino boyfriend. For the past year, she'd been dating a French guy in his early 70s who paid her an allowance of 20,000 pesos a month, which is around 300 quid or $370. So not only is he providing her with food and shelter, but he's also giving her money to keep him company. But it's not really that, is it? She has a part-time job, but he prefers her not to work so she can spend time with him, which is fair enough, isn't it? If you choose a girl who's got a job, then she can't spend time with you. Filipinos are hard workers. I mean, look at all the overseas foreign workers dotted around the world, grafting to send money back to their families. But you're retired and have all the time in the world, and you don't want her to work, but feel the need to pay for the time she would have spent working. Really? What if she has no intention of working or ever looking for a proper job? You know, the ones who lounge around your plush condo glued to their phones all day, eating all your rice, having wooed you on a dating site with, "I love to travel, why not take me with you?" Yeah, of course, sweetheart, that will save you having to get a job and work for a living. Look, having a girlfriend whose farts smell of fragrant rice is enticing, and if I had money to burn, I'd probably do the same. It's your choice how you squander your pension money. If I suddenly become rich making YouTube videos and you stop skipping the ads, I'll be quite happy flashing my cash at the drive-through, Jollibee, entertaining the ladies. But I'm not a rich man. I started doing a paper round at 12 and worked down the pit for 40 years. Why should I waste my hard-earned cash on a couch surfing freeloader? But if you want to do that, it's your money, so do as you please. here at BWC, we are a sharing community. So could you kindly keep Uncle content by sharing this video with your friends? Thank you. I often think it's just me who has these views. Am I a skinflint for not wanting to hand out a meal ticket? When I was in Thailand, I paid for everything. On every date I went on, the ladies all seemed to mislay their purses when the bill arrived. I'd probably spent the best part of a year altogether in Thailand, 3 periods of 3 months each, so haven't really dated anyone for very long. On one date I went on, the girl was 38, no kids, had a good job with the government, said in previous relationships with foreigners she'd had problems because of food sharing costs. Said she didn't have much money for sharing food and other expenses, as she needed to save her money to buy a condo. So she just needed guys for a meal ticket. A very smart young lady. In Hua Hin, I lived briefly with a Thai woman, also in her late 30s, had 3 kids. Each night we went out for dinner. When the bill arrived, she'd just pass it to me. I'd always have a little joke to myself saying, "Oh, it's my round again, is it?" I met her when she was working, not as a waitress in a cocktail bar, but a diner. But she had recently given that up as the Western owner, who was married to a Thai lady, had begun hitting on her. So this Thai woman was planning on getting a job in a bar as a cashier. In Thailand, you don't have to just be a bar girl to go home with the customers. One night I was in a bar in Pattaya watching the footy, and by the end of the night there was no staff left, as all the female staff, including the chef, the cleaner, had gone off with foreigners. They don't call it prostitution, they just call it going with customers, going with Falang. Can I go with you? It's all about survival. It's just accepted, a way to provide for their families. Nobody calls it prostitution in the Philippines either. But that's what it is, isn't it? With the Philippines predominantly a Catholic country, the P word isn't discussed openly. Just a quick reminder to please click the thumbs up button if you liked the video, or thumbs down button if you didn't, obviously. Thank you. On Pina Love, I was drawn by Desiree's profile. She was much too young for me, again, but I'm a sucker for a decent pair of breasts, as was her 3-month-old baby. Large breasts in the Philippines normally come with child. We began messaging each other, with her asking if I was staying in a condo and did I want her to visit me. Yeah, sure. Said she was interested in dating a foreigner, but couldn't come over at the moment, leaving her baby, but would come when her baby got a bit older. We continued chatting until Desiree eventually said she could come over now, 9 months later. She could have given birth again in that time. If I'm there, how much you give me? Oh, here we go. How much you want? Just tell me please, how much you willing to give? You want me to give you money every time we meet? Yeah, you know that I need it. So if you're my girlfriend, do I pay you every time you visit me? Yes, to pay for my baby's needs and my family. I was tempted to ask if her previous Filipino boyfriend had paid to see her each time they met before he got her up the duff and did a runner. But the answer was kind of obvious. I'd already left the Philippines by now anyway, was just continuing the conversation to see where her mind was at. Women from poorer countries regard Western men as saviours. But what happens when the money runs out? I've heard horror stories of Western men being instantly dumped. I've never trusted Thai women in this respect. Are Filipinas any different? It never worked out with my Filipino girlfriend, though money had nothing to do with it, if that's what you're thinking. Immaturity maybe. She was too young for me after all. But age is just a number. Communication and cultural difference also played their part. I'd prefer to date a woman in her 30s, but as I said, Filipinas don't age well.
Yeah, but my Filipino girlfriend's 36 and she's gorgeous.
Preferably a Filipina with a job. I'm sceptical of starting a relationship with the foundations built around my bank balance. which you may have observed, I'd be forever wondering what her intentions were. But you can always tell if someone's into you or not, can't you? You can't fake good chemistry, can you? If it happens, it happens. Naturally. Don't go chasing. Anyway, if you liked the video, please could you like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to ding the notification bell to see my videos before your friends. See you on the next video. Take care, everyone.